What's going on, everyone? This is Sherry, and you are tuned into the She Said What She Said podcast. It's getting a little chilly right now in Chicago, but I am rocking my girl Mel from Trey Bella Nail Spot. She's got this Lazy Days brand, and I am wearing a hoodie dress. That's right, I'm wearing a hoodie dress. I got some like fleece tights on. Hold on, I'm gonna drop this link in here because y'all really need to check out her loungewear collection. It's fabulous. This was like $30 too. I am super comfortable. So let me go ahead and just show that for you guys. But yeah, that's my girl Mel. She's got the goods, and I absolutely love it. Another little shout out to Dat T-Biz. I don't think I told you guys they did my little koozie. So you're gonna see my nice little koozie. You know, just getting the gear going. So so B is not with us again this week. You know, she's got the Chicago Blitz. They got the tryouts coming out next week. I will be there. I will not be trying out. D-Sun and I will be there with some cameras, some microphones, and really just taking in the experience for the LEC network. But I do have a co-host tonight. You guys would have seen her from our very first podcast, and this is number 10. So we have survived the first 9. Hopefully number 10 will be a good one. But let's bring in Coach K.
Woo!
Hey, long time no see.
Yes, congratulations on number 10, Sherry.
Woo-woo. It's the magical number is 21. 99% of podcasts apparently do not get to 21 episodes per my buddy Dre. So almost there, almost getting there. And I got guests booked up through, I think, end of February. So I think I'm on a good schedule for that.
Most definitely.
But you are my first. You will always be my first. And for those that don't remember or didn't tune in, you can check it out on YouTube. But I'm sitting next to the first Black female head football coach of the Chicago Public League. Just so badass. And we're going to talk more after our interview about some of the things that you're doing in the off season. First of all, tell us about your background.
So I don't know. See, I was ready to just co-host. You do this, Sherry.
I
do. So I am a mother first and foremost. So I'm going to have to tell you, it's a 4-year-old that doesn't understand mommy is on air. She's put me out of my room and put me in her room. Henceforth, why I am sitting in between her bunk bed. It's just hell. It is what it is. Besides being a mother, I am a football coach. I played for the Chicago Force. I didn't even realize I was repping. I am on here. I am an event planner. I was I played flag football. Yeah, I just do a little bit of everything.
I hear you. I love it. You know, I'm a big fan of yours. So, but our guest today, and this is like one of those guests where it's like, look, this is a Chicago-based podcast. It's about women athletes. You know, we were going to have her because you can't say Chicago football or Chicago women's basketball without talking about this woman. And, you know, I wanted to wait for her to do something extra special last month, which I knew was going to happen, but I had to wait for it first. So T, if you can bring in the one and the only Nadia Bibbs.
Hey, ladies.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
No, thank you for saying yes. Because
no problem.
You do not like interviews. So
I do not like interviews, but happy to be here.
I love it. I know. You know what the first question she asked me? She was like, do I have to be in Chicago for it? I was like, listen, just because you moved and you went to a warmer state doesn't mean you're not from here. It doesn't mean you're not in Aspen doing snowboarding. You can but no, you don't need to be here.
All good.
So last month you did something phenomenal. You became a world champion for Team USA in women's
Mhm.
flag football in Israel, correct?
Yep, in Jerusalem.
Nice.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was an amazing experience for sure.
Is that an annual tournament, or is that like, once every 4 years? How often does that one happen?
So the World Championships, I believe, happen every 2 years.
Okay.
So this was actually supposed to happen in 2020. Like I tried out for this team back in January 2020. And then we were originally supposed to play in Denmark in late 2020. That was canceled, pushed back. And then we were going to play in August in Spain, 2021. That was pushed back again. Yeah, so then we ended up playing in December 2021. And now flag football has just been added to the World Games. So this summer, July, Birmingham, Alabama, we're hosting the World Games. And it'd be the inaugural year for flag football to be a part of the World Games.
What?
Oh, you heard it here first.
Yeah.
That is so amazing.
Yeah.
What were the dates of that?
I don't know the exact dates. I can look it up and send it to you, but I know it's in July.
In July? All right. I don't know if I have any. We might need to take this podcast on the road and go on down there. That is
Birmingham, Alabama. So USA is actually hosting. We're having a tryout first weekend of February. Chula Vista, the Olympic training facility there, will be hosting a tryout, and that team, that 12 that qualify for that team, will be playing at the World Games.
Wow. Wow, that's incredible. And it's a 5-on-5 format, correct?
Yes, it's 5-on-5, non-contact. International play is a little bit different than how we play in the States. So in the States, we play 3 downs. International, it's 4 downs. So a little bit different style, but pretty much the same concept.
Nice. And how does the international play, favor? Well, how does it differ from how we play in the zone? A2.
It's a big difference. So international play, like you cannot have any contact. If you touch the receiver, offensive player, it's penalties, flags. They're really big on impeding the rush. So it's like 0 contact. But here in the States, we get pretty physical in our flag football. So we tend. It's interesting because like if you watch any of our games from Jerusalem, we have tons of penalties because we're just a physical team. We play more physical than the other teams overseas. So it's some adjusting to do when we get over there.
Nice. And it's interesting to think, because football is an American sport, so to have it on the world stage, especially for women, is it's interesting to see how it's grown throughout the world.
Yeah, for sure. It's and it's actually really huge in other countries. Like they play a lot of flag football. Mexico plays.
Yes.
They start playing at a very young age. It's been on their collegiate level for many years now. They get scholarships to go to college to play flag football. Like it's just now this year being added to NAIA colleges here in the US. But but it's been big in other countries for a while now.
Yeah, I was over the summer, I was on a boat with Victoria from the Chicago Blitz. And she's from Mexico. And I was like, how do you get the flag? She's like, oh, well, like that. It was just like how you would get into basketball, right? It was just there. That's what you did. So I mean, she plays tackle, but still, we just play football.
Yeah, football's huge in Mexico for sure.
Fantastic.
So how was Israel? I know they have a lot of strife going on. Were you ever scared? How did you guys deal with all of the military strife and stuff?
Yeah. So before going, like there was a lot of tension, concern, anxiety. They had a no travel ban going there. Right before we went, they shut down the borders for all foreign travel because of COVID. So we actually thought possibility that they were going to cancel the tournament. They ended up allowing us still being able to come, but we were in a bubble the entire time we were there. So we were in the hotel. We went hotel, field, hotel the entire time we were there. The very last day we were able to go on a tour, which was really cool to be able to see Jerusalem and see the old city, like so many historic events going on there, of course, if you're religious. But as far as like, attacks and being afraid for your life, I think once we were there, you kind of really didn't think about it, and it seemed pretty safe.
Mm-hmm.
So being on Team USA, you the stuff in Chicago flag football. If I know you're bashful unless you're on the field.
Yeah, right.
Unless I'm on the field, yeah.
She's a beast. Oh, I've seen her in action. She is a beast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How did that make you feel, making the team and being able to represent your country? How did that make you feel?
Such an amazing experience. I was humbled and grateful for the opportunity. Honestly, coming from Chicago, we just always played in Chicago. Like, we barely traveled. I didn't even know that other cities played flag football like that. So until I started traveling maybe about 5 years ago, I really didn't know flag football was that big across the country. And then I learned about the USA team. And then once I learned out about that, the main goal was to try and make the team, like to get exposure, to be seen, try to be scouted, and then be invited to the tryout. So to be able to experience it, for it to finally come to fruition, like, it was one of the best experiences I've had in my life.
Yeah, I mean, that photo of you with the flag is like the definition of pure bliss. Like,
thank you. Yeah, it's definitely one of my favorites.
I had to so like for my promos, I use PixArt where I just like remove the background, but it kept removing the flag, and I was like, nope. I had to hit up a buddy of mine that's way more better. I was like, I need this photo. Can you get it as a background, please? That's why it's on a white background. That's all I can get. But I was like, no, this photo is just the definition. It just looked like all your years of hard work in one photo, and I mean, I had goosebumps looking at it, and I wasn't there. I didn't play, but just knowing the hard work that you put in all these years, it was amazing to see you accomplish that.
And especially just speaking for our team as a whole, like I said, they pushed back this tournament for a year and a half. But all that time, our team has been playing together. We've been traveling to tournaments, trying to build our chemistry. So to finally win, and we had a really competitive championship game, but to finally win, and it was like such a relief to just something we worked so hard for so long, to finally accomplish it as a team, and like, we're a family. So just to do that together and stick together, it was the greatest feeling.
Who did you play in the finals?
Mexico.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, that's what I thought. That was the finals game.
Yeah. It was a very good game too. Mexico played really well.
Mexico has it out for the United States in anything football related, so I expected that to happen.
Yeah, I mean, they're a good team. They have a lot of good players, so it's always a good game.
Awesome.
Fantastic. Yeah, if it wasn't at like 7 a.m. or something our time, I might have watched it. I know when you were posting the times, I was like, the
games are on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, the games are on YouTube if you want to go back and check them out.
I actually probably will. And you played both ways for Team USA, correct?
Yeah, I started corner, but our team is so versatile. All the players on our team can play multiple positions. Yeah. So I think that's one of the things that makes us really good and difficult to beat, because you can just literally plug and play different players at all positions, and we just don't lose a beat. But for me, yes, I play DB and receiver.
Yeah.
Do you want to give a shout out to anybody who gave you, some training on being a DB, or how, to improve being a receiver? Some of those old coaches want to hear their name. If you want to give a shout out.
I've had a lot of trainers throughout the years. I'll go to Chris Goff. Really helped me. Honestly, Chris Goff was one of the first DB trainers I worked with when I was just starting to playing defense. But I've had a lot of trainers over the years.
So we got to talk about JV's comment. Because we were going to get to this. Killer in basketball. We played at DePaul Rec before, and she was killing dudes that played college and pro ball. Mad respect, Nadia.
Appreciate that, John.
So as much all the accomplishments that you've had in football, you started as a basketball player. I mean, you were I believe honorable mention All-American in high school, locally at Hillcrest.
Yes, Hillcrest.
Yeah, and then you played collegiately. Tell us a little bit about your journey, getting into basketball. Did you come from like an athletic family? Were you just, trying every sport, or how did you get into that?
Yeah, so growing up, I was just a tomboy, to be honest. I played every sport. I played tackle football when I was younger. So I played basketball, softball, baseball. I just loved sports. I think once I got to about 6th grade, I started noticing like how good I was at basketball compared to the other girls. And I think that's kind of where I just started to narrow in on that, and basketball became the passion. But yeah, it's funny that like everything is football now, and people meet me now and they have no idea that my entire life, like I was a basketball player. Like this football is really the more kind of recent things that are going on. And I played pro basketball for 7 years for Mexico. Yeah.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
And you played locally at Northwestern as well.
Yeah. So I played for Boston University my freshman year, and then I transferred back home to Northwestern.
Yeah. And you're a smarty pants too. So that's definitely.
I try to be. I fake it.
Aren't you like a software engineer or something really smart in your free time during your 9 to 5?
Yeah, I'm a software engineer for a trading firm. Yeah.
Smart as hell. Beautiful, smart, athletic. I mean, come on.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
Yes. Oh shit. B's popping in. Yeah.
Hey, B.
We miss you tonight, B. Glad you're popping in. She must have just gotten off of practice. But let's talk about, after your time at Northwestern, you did play professional, with Mexico, which is interesting. How does that feel for playing both for Mexico and for Team USA, and then beating Mexico in football? How'd that feel?
Yeah, so I was actually going to mention this earlier. Even when I was playing for Mexico was such a great experience. I was blessed to be able to have that opportunity. But it's just a different feeling to wear like the USA colors and to represent USA. Like that really was special. But I had an amazing experience when I played for Mexico. I played for them for more like 6 or 7 years. I started playing actually while I was still at Northwestern. So in the summers, I would go down and play, and we would travel to various countries playing in various tournaments. But I will say the coolest experience I've ever had in a sports world, I played in the Pan American Games with Mexico, and we won silver. And Mexico hosted the Pan American Games that year. It was in Guadalajara, and just the fans in Mexico, the Mexican fans, they're amazing. They love all sports, all positions, all players. Like you can be the person that never got in the game and they will do backwards flips to get your autograph. Like they're just huge fans. And that's one thing I can always say about Mexican fans. They're awesome.
Oh, that is so love.
Right.
Yeah. Like honestly, one of my favorite tournaments to go to for flag football is in Texcoco, Mexico. And the fans there are just amazing. Like it's out at a football field, and it's just like standing room only across the field. They really show out for it, and they watch all the men's games, they watch all the women's games equally. It's just, they're great fans.
Oh, that is awesome. So, in knowing, a little bit about Team USA for tackle football, I know how expensive it was for those players to go play overseas. Is flag the same thing? Are they making you guys play, or have they been able to get sponsorships to help with the cost of being on Team USA?
So to go to Jerusalem, we did not have to pay for anything. They covered.
Excellent.
Yeah. USA football, they do a pretty good job of making sure that we're being taken care of.
That's awesome.
Tackle football had to pay their own way for
yeah.
Oh wow.
That's come up with like $2,500 somewhere in there.
Oh
man.
But that's
so
that's good.
Yeah. That would have been fun having to cover that to get to Jerusalem.
No.
So are you so now that Team USA is over and you won gold, are you going to play in what is that USFL flag football? Like what the Force, well now the Chicago Force and some other teams, the teams that you played with here in Chicago with A and all of those leagues. Will you be on any of those teams playing in a couple weeks in
this weekend?
It
was past weekend and this weekend actually.
Yeah, so I believe it's UFFL.
It's
yeah, that was the one last weekend. I didn't participate in that, but I will be at FFWCT this weekend in Tampa.
Okay. Are you playing with your Team USA team?
It's a lot of the same people that's on that team for fives. But I only play fives, and then I really like playing fives co-ed and eights co-ed. So we have our tryout 2 weeks after that tournament. So I don't want to do too much on the body. So I'll just play those 3 formats.
So how is co-ed 5? How many women? How many men?
3 men, 2 women.
Okay. So male quarterback and 2 receivers of each.
You can have a woman quarterback.
You could have a winning quarterback.
Our USA quarterback, she plays quarterback in fives co-ed and she wins.
Who was your
because then
Benita Crouch.
Every play would be a red play. So
she loves to say, "I'm worth 9." She says she's worth 9.
Right. Yeah, because they have for people that people that play regular flag football, they might not know, but some of these different like national leagues, when women score, they get more points. And so, yes, if you have a woman either catching the ball in the end zone or a woman throwing the ball to be caught, yes, you do get more. So there's a lot of strategy.
Yeah.
What was it like? 7-8 years ago, I went down with a co-ed team to Florida. The first time that we ever took a co-ed team to Florida.
Oh, really?
And it was like with Ricky, and it was a disaster because we didn't know.
Used to be too good down there.
They finally gotten it under control, but it was just so different from what we play up here in Chicago, and all these strategies. You would see guys like get to like the 1 yard line and put the ball down, and then run these plays for the girls to score, and you're like, oh,
that makes sense.
Up here,
right. We keep scoring our 6 points. They're getting 9 every time. It's just like, all right, well, this isn't adding up.
No, and you could kick field goals down there. You could kick extra points if you wanted, and if the girl kicker, I was like, man, I should have been the kicker because field goals. But
Miss Soccer.
I did tell you I will come out to help your team with some kicking. I remember that. I'll try to remember how to teach someone how to kick, but I have kicked a field goal in an NFL stadium. So that is my current claim to fame. Thank you. In the Bengals stadium, I was a little intoxicated and I had sneakers on, but that puppy had, it was good. It was great.
It's impressive though.
Thank you. Yeah, I played soccer years ago before I switched over to track full time. You find the sport that you want to take to the next level. And for me, that was track. Obviously, that was basketball.
Yeah, definitely.
I do want to circle back to basketball, because you said you played for Team Mexico for 6 or 7 years. How did you get onto that team? Did you get recruited on there? Did you have to reach out? How did that work?
Yeah, so it actually happened with my senior year. I was at practice with my travel team. So I used to play for Chicago Hoops Express. And shout out to them. Shout out to JD. I was playing with them, and he had an ex-player who actually ended up turning out to be my best friend later down the road, which is a small world. But she used to play for Team Puerto Rico. And so Team Puerto Rico was coming to Chicago for some tournament, or I don't exactly know the logistics of why they were in Chicago, but we ended up scrimmaging them. So when we were scrimmaging them, the coach was asking if I was Puerto Rican so I could play on the team. And I said I was Mexican. And so he reached out to the Mexican team, and then they reached out to me later. So kind of just fell in my lap a little bit, to be honest.
Oh, that's amazing. And not going to say no to that one.
No, not at all.
You know, besides the Pan Am games, what other big tournaments did you play with them?
Like every other year. So it's similar to how I guess flag is. You have major tournaments, but they repeat either every 4 years or every 2 years. So when on off years, when it wasn't Olympics or Pan Americans, you'd have Central Baskets, which was mostly just tournaments that went on in the Caribbean, South America, Central America. So it was just like a Central Basket almost every other year, and then the Pan Ams every 4 years.
And did you stay down there to train with the team, or how did that work logistically?
Yeah. So while I was in college, it was convenient because I would just leave in the summer and go down there for maybe about like 3 months. Once I graduated, started working, I was blessed to have a company that thought it was really cool that I played for the team, and they would let me have a leave of absence. So I would save up my vacation days and then also take a leave of absence, and I'd go down for like 3 or 4 months and come back.
Wow.
Yeah, so it worked out. It worked out really well. I was blessed to have that situation.
That's amazing. That's
right?
amazing. What's the commitment like now for you with flag, with Team USA, all of the promo and COVID and work? How is that? How are you balancing all of that?
It's been a lot. It's been a lot. So I work remotely, which has made things a lot easier for me, but I'm training every day. Some days I have 2-a-days. As a team, we just will plan out various tournaments that we want to go to together so we can build chemistry and get reps in with each other. But as far as just like USA, it's only the big tournaments. So we had Jerusalem. The next big one will be World Games. And then the following year, I believe, is World Championships again. So we only have like one major tournament a year, but we'll play together in various local tournaments just so we have reps together.
Do you have any teammates that are local for you?
No, there's quite a few in Dallas, but the bulk of them are in Dallas or Florida. Okay.
Because I see a lot. I mean, your posts of all your workouts. I mean, if you guys think that she just got there off of sheer talent, no, this girl works hard. I mean, like you said, you're doing 2-a-days. You're acting like, you know, we used to do in college. D1
it really is.
Style.
Yeah, my body feels like it too, to be honest.
How many more years you think you got in you, Nadia?
I don't know. My next big goal is to make this World Games team.
Yeah.
And then I said after that, I would revisit things and just see. Feel like I'm working hard and really training to make World Games. And after that, anything after that will be a plus. I'm just happy to be there.
Yeah. Are a lot of your teammates younger? Or is there a good variety of age?
No, there's a good variety of age.
Not to call you old. You know.
I mean, I'm kind of old. But, I mean, overall, Team USA tends to be an older team playing against these other teams. Like these other countries, they're like 21, 23 years old. They're super young. Well, some of them are super young, but I have a few that are older than me, a few that are about almost like the same age, and then a few that are much younger. But we're working on building that younger pipe to fill in because some of us are kind of getting older.
It's a lot of states are doing have implemented flag football for girls in high school. So that pipeline is being created. Have you been able to go speak to any of these girl teams, or have you had any special memories of maybe one of them finding out who you are and reaching out yet?
No, not yet. Not yet. Yeah. I mean, I heard about the league in Chicago. And I tried to get out there one weekend, but I just schedules kind of conflicted and wasn't able to get out there. But I know it's growing. I also know USA has also developed a pipeline within the program. So we have a 17U and a 15U program as well.
Nice.
So it's nice to start to be able to build that funnel system up for the national teams.
Oh, that's awesome.
And like you said, it's collegiate now too here.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
How many schools have it now?
I don't quite know.
Yeah, I remember it wasn't that many, but enough for one conference, and that is.
Yeah. I mean, it's a start, right?
Yeah.
Get some of these kids to school where they don't have to pay a full ride or, partial rides. Anything helps,
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Now, do you think, I was going to ask, if let's say you were growing up now or back in our time, all of our D1 schools had flag football and basketball. Do you think you still would have gone the basketball route, or do you think you might have been enticed by football?
I don't know. I've been asked that before, and it's a really tough question because like basketball has always been that just a passion. Like I took it so seriously. I was a sore loser. I hated losing. Would be mad for days after that. I mean, I'm not saying I don't get mad if I lose in flag football, but I'm not as cutthroat as I was with basketball. So that makes me feel like basketball was a bigger passion for me. But also to be said, I didn't play flag football that much growing up. I didn't play flag football at all growing up. I only played tackle, and I absolutely loved playing football when I was younger. So I don't think I could really answer that because I think I would have played a lot more flag football, and it would have been harder to choose between the two. But yeah, flag football is, I love playing it. It's one of my passions now. It's definitely a fun sport.
Absolutely.
Well, I didn't know you played tackle football as a kid. You never wanted to come and play tackle football for the Force?
No.
How come?
Not these old bones. Not at all. My body's already breaking down just from flag. I can only imagine what that feels like with tackle.
Yeah, these knees.
Now, what if you were like 22 and you could play tackle football? Would that have been a little different?
Probably, because I mean, I only stopped playing tackle football because the boys were getting much bigger, and then I moved. And by the time I moved, it was too late to register for the local team, so that's why I ended up just stopped playing. But I would have kept playing as long as I could. But I think I like flag football better.
Well, as your playing time comes to an end, or just the change of, you really never know how much time you commit to sports until you don't have it anymore. And you're like, that was a part-time job. I have all this time on my hand. Do you think you will go into coaching?
I've thought about it. I think the flag football world is definitely growing. I think collegiately it's definitely growing and expanding, and that could be something that is pretty interesting. I've had a few kind of opportunities thrown my way that I think I could potentially go in that direction down the road, but I'm not going to say no. I'm open to it, but it needs to make sense. Yeah.
Right. And we see so many the women are still being coached by men right now to have the next generation coming up being coached by women in their own sport. Yeah. And not just, a woman that's been to worlds, a woman that's a world champion. Not to say you need to do it, but, I would just say, I think that would be pretty inspiring to have you as a coach.
Yeah, it's on the docket. We'll see.
Yeah. But obviously, we got to get to World Games first, and then maybe another World Championship next year. Because it's just next year, right? I mean,
it is just next year.
Yeah.
It is just next year. Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah. And you used to, you were in Illinois, you were reffing basketball as well.
Yeah, I've done a lot of things.
In your free time.
Love sports, apparently. Yeah, I reffed collegiate basketball.
Right.
I was being scouted to ref in the NBA.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah, I had a NBA scout that I talked with often. I had a NBA like mentor.
Mhm.
Well, he did collegiate, but I had a ref mentor. So I was definitely being in line to go to their referee camp for the NBA, but it just wasn't my passion. Like it was becoming an obligation to me towards like the end of the season. You have other people that were like super excited and like wanting playoff games and more games, and me, I'm just, I don't want any more. I'm ready for the season to be over with. But yeah, it was fun while it lasted.
Oh,
Your number one fan, JB, wants to know, what was your favorite and best college game?
My favorite and best college game was, well, those are two different games.
Okay.
So my best college game was against DePaul. I think I had like 25. I think it was at DePaul. I played really well against them, but we lost. No, it was at Northwestern, but we lost. My favorite game was against Penn State, my senior night. Yeah, it was a battle of the Dust Bowl. We both were not very good teams. Yeah. And we finally got a win. So it was a good game.
You said that was your senior day?
My senior night, yeah. At Northwestern.
Yeah, Penn State's women basketball team was really good when I started, because we actually had sellout games. Like I think it was Texas that came in and they sold out our arena, and then the coach left, and by senior year, I think you came out 1 year after me. We went from being the top of everything to
No, you guys were good. I think my first year, but it came down a little bit after that. But I will say, I think I will also add, John, that my scariest game was playing against Stanford my freshman year when I was in Boston. Like they were just trees. Everybody was like 6'2", point guards and everybody.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But yeah.
And I know we touched briefly that you just wanted, but was like Boston just not the right fit for you athletically, academically?
There were just a lot of things that kind of compounded together that made me decide to leave. I didn't love the city. It was very cold. My freshman year, there was like a big blizzard there. I'd have to like walk to my classes, and my classes were like 45 minutes away. I changed my majors, which was like the main reason for me to go there. I was aerospace engineering originally. So I changed my major, and then they fired my coach. I absolutely loved my freshman year coach. They fired her. So I just said, I'm going to transfer back home. And it worked out. I'm very happy with my decision. I'm very happy that I went to Boston my freshman year. I had that experience. I got away. I played really good basketball, but then to come back home to Northwestern, I would do it exactly the same way again.
Absolutely. And that was back in the day where you had to sit out a year when you transferred.
Wait, you don't sit out a year anymore?
No, the whole transfer pool with football. Yeah, you could just go into the pool now and.
Oh man, yeah. And that was a brutal year because we were not very good. There were a couple times that my team would go and we'd lose, and then we'd have to run the next day for the loss, and I would have to run, and I'm like, I wasn't even there. I didn't even get to see the game.
Right, but I wasn't there. I
was not there. But yeah, that was a tough year, but got through it.
Good, yeah, excellent. And I mean, look, you're a legend to the Chicago community. As far as that, you can't say less. These kids don't know. These kids don't know.
These kids don't know, huh?
About Nadia on the court. I did not know about the reffing and the NBA, the WNBA. But so is reffing done for you?
It's not my passion.
Yeah,
and you have to be passionate about reffing to do it. Like you really do, because you have zero friends on that court besides your colleagues. So yeah.
Reffing is hard. I don't wish that on anybody. It takes
but in my short stint, I had some pretty cool experiences. I got to ref a summer league, Nike EYBL. So on the boys side, so they're their varsity EYBL team. So I've had Patrick Ewing at my games while I'm reffing because they're watching the kids. Like, it has been to some really prestigious tournaments and ref, which was a really cool experience. But that chapter is done.
So the next chapter will be a clipboard on the sideline.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Do you ever get to go back to Hillcrest and, career day, or just go back and walk the halls and talk to any of those students?
No, I haven't in a while. I used to always go back for our, there's a big Christmas tournament, basketball tournament there. So I used to go back for that all the time. I was really, really close with my basketball coach, and he was there, John Mandiotis, but he's gone and went to a, sorry, I'm reading the side chat, but he's gone at a different school, and I don't know, it just doesn't have that sense of family anymore there. So I haven't been back in a while, but I need to go back. I would like to go back and see them. Like, Hillcrest was definitely for the best years of my life, to be honest. But I need to make it back there.
What about Northwestern? Have you been to any there? Hey, John, our other John Irving.
Hey.
Northwestern, I've gone back for a few games here and there, not as consistent as I like. I was thinking about going back to Alumni Day this year. I believe it's at the end of the month. I may try to do that, but they have a new coach as well, a coach that actually recruited me at George Washington.
No way.
So, that's actually a wild story, but I'm friends with him. Saw him this summer at a wedding, at my teammate's wedding. We have a good relationship, so I need to get back there and get back to some more games. But definitely need to do more.
Look, I haven't been to Penn State in I don't know how many years. So yeah, it could definitely be. My coach is now at Arkansas, actually, so he's like one of the best coaches now. I had my coach his very first year being like the assistant coach of a sprints program at a major school, and when you're talking about your coach that you left leaving and you left, I had my coach my first 2 years left to South Carolina, and I was like, F this, I'm out. One phone call with Coach Johnson, I was like, I went to that call like, I'm going to hate him. He's too young. He doesn't have any experience. And I left it. I was like, okay, I like him. I'm going to see
Fine. I'll stay.
Fine. Yeah, I went to visit him in Arkansas a few years ago when I was in the area for work. But I get it. The coach is just such an important job, and it makes or break your time at the school.
It really does. It really does, for sure.
Awesome.
So I wanted to ask you, you have such a resume, but for people that want to be like you, let's say for our young hoopers out there, what advice would you give to a young woman that wanted to become a D1 basketball player?
I would just say, hone in on your craft. Like, everybody is given natural ability, right? Some people more than others. But if you really hone in on it and work at your craft and train and like pay attention to the little things, like that's what's going to make a difference. So high school, everybody has a star player or 2 star players. You go D1, everybody's a star player from their high school, right? Everybody's on the same level. The things that set you apart is your work ethic, is your training, is how seriously you're taking film or listening to the plays and pay attention to what the coach is saying. Like, you have to pay attention to the little things, take care of your body, eat right, get amount of sleep, get good grades at school. You just have to lock in and just pay attention to details. And like, that's what sets you apart.
That's great advice.
Yeah, I mean, because like it's natural talent will only get you so far.
It will only get you so far.
It's a little thing. Now, and then track is just so different because you run faster, you don't. Basketball. Did you go to like a lot of showcases, like AAU teams in high school? I assume that was where a lot of your recruiting came from.
Yeah. I mean, I really don't know how it is now, but back then you could only be recruited pretty much through, your travel teams, your AAU teams, because you're going to go to big tournaments and that's where the college coaches are. High schools don't typically travel on their own to these type of tournaments. So you have to get that exposure outside of your high school basketball team. So that means you're playing year round. You're playing all summer, spring, fall. You got practice all year round. You just have to lock in and definitely go to those exposure tournaments so you could be seen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So my next question is, we have a large flag football community in Chicago. We have a lot of women, maybe younger ones, maybe closer to our age, that look up to you as someone doing something that they would want to strive for. So what advice would you give to someone within the Chicago flag community that wanted to take it to that next level, to play for Team USA, or to get invited to try out for them?
Mm-hmm. So Team USA recruits they say the terms that they're recruiting at. Mm-hmm. So you have to be seen, right? You have to be visible. So you have to play the format that they also are watching. They're only watching 5s. They're not watching 8s contact. They're not watching 7s. They're watching 5s. So you need to be on a team at those tournaments, playing, competing. They'll have showcases or I won't say tryouts, but they'll have just like individual showcase that you can go and register, go to those. The main thing is just being seen. Like, we have the talent. Like, I've always bragged about Chicago talent. The women and the men's side, like, we have just athletes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just athletes that can play corner, that play receiver, they could play everything. But we just never traveled enough and we never really played 5s enough to be seen. So I know we've got run and gun starting to travel now, which is good. So really, I said, just going to these tournaments that they know they're going to be at, because they put it out there. They let it be known which tournaments they're going to be recruiting at. So just go to those tournaments so you could be seen and ball out.
That sounds amazing. That's what's up.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Well, we thank you for representing the Chi. You're doing so well.
Of course. Thank you.
And you guys know Nadia does not like to do interviews. So the fact that you said yes to me, I was like, yes.
Initially, I was like
5. She's turned us down maybe 5 times. We've sent people for other programs and have asked, and Nadia's like, no. No. Yeah. Text me. Let me know. Text me. No. So, we appreciate you for, being on the 10th show for Sherry.
I know. She never even told me no. She told me no. You told me yes, like right away. It was in like 24 hours. You told me yes.
Well, it was you. I was like, Sherry, I got it. I got to do it for sure.
I appreciate the love. My little heart going.
You're welcome.
I do miss seeing you, Nadia.
Same here.
I hope, when you're in the Chicagoland area, you'll come out and kick it with us.
For sure.
And I am going to definitely keep an eye on this Team USA, on your career. I'll make sure that I keep all of our fans up to date. And let me tell you, man, if you go to World Games, I might have to go.
We might have to take a road.
Might have to pull up.
We might have to pull up. Yeah. like Deason and I are going to the Blitz tryouts next weekend, man. I might be like, yo, let's make some content, and that's the thing with the podcast too. It's like, if the content that you want isn't out there, put it out there. I want to focus on women athletes. I want to talk to all these phenomenal women that I know, you being one of them. And I love to hear all of your different stories. I learned something new. I've known you for how many years? And I still learn new things. And that's really why I love this podcast.
Cool. Well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
All right. Awesome. Well, good luck. And I know I'll see you on Instagram, Facebook, and we'll be in touch.
All right. Sounds good.
Right. Bye, Nadia. Good luck.
Bye, Nadia. Bye. I feel so special. She literally tells everyone no.
Everybody.
Everyone. She hates interviews.
Absolutely.
But I was like, I'm going to ask. I think I got her in a good mood because she had just won, Worlds and thanks, AV. I'm trying to keep killing it. Yeah, and like you said, I mean, Nadia and I have known each other for I should have asked her when she started. I think we started playing around the same time, so I think we're about the same age.
What, at Flag?
Mm-hmm.
No, she been out there a long time.
Was she out there at Midway?
Yeah.
Okay, so I came in
was
at
like her
Dunbar.
first, I think Midway. No. Was Midway her first year? Yeah, Midway, because I think she was on. John may know what team she might have been on his team. But yeah, she's been cold since she started playing. She's been cold. I've seen her make some incredible catches. So yeah.
Yeah. So T, take us on over to our commercial break, and we will be back to kick it a little bit more with Coach K.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll see if he has it ready. He's not paying attention.
Tranquility, Trey Bella. Alleviate the stress of your day. A fresh approach to nail care service at the top of the pampering scale. Awaken your senses with no chemical smells. Relax, we're at your service with professional, personalized treatments. Enjoy a manicure or pedicure tailored to you. Trey Bella Nail Spa, 10349 South Halsted in Chicago. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Trey Bella Nail Spa or book at TreyBellaNailSpa.com.
And we're back.
Yes.
So, Coach, last time I talked to you, it was just the end of your inaugural season. Now that you've had 2 months, where are we at now with the team and getting ready for next year?
They're playing basketball to stay active.
Okay.
I go to a couple coaches clinics this month. Well, between now and March, a week after girls basketball season ends, we'll start being in the gym and just preparing for, working out, off-season workouts, being a better coach, recruiting. I have an offensive coordinator, just trying to make sure I have staff that know the game so that I don't have to do it all. So yeah, that's where we are. That's where we are.
And you said, becoming a better coach. What, again, because you're not just going to sit and just do what you do. What steps are you doing to make yourself better as a coach?
It's coaches clinics. It's, rereading books, going over plays. I realized that I actually need to find someone who can actually tape a game, because you can't count on kids to video the game properly. I've missed a lot. I thought it was just me, but no, I thought maybe I was just tired watching film, trying to take stats. No, these kids just, no, they didn't listen. So a lot of stats missed. So just, figuring that stuff out, like buying a new camera, a new laptop, tablet to tape games, and just studying the game, NFL, some college stuff, and just like, oh, that play looks dope. Why did he do that? And okay, so that, we're gonna run traps, but you're gonna run traps with trips. Why? But then it's been a lot. It's been a lot. So just, it's a learning game. You always learn. You never know enough.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's
absolutely. And you watch professional football too?
Yes, ma'am.
Of course. Terrence is just messing with all these different views. I'm like, where did I go? What's going on? He's just having fun back there. I know you watch professional, but I was going to get your opinion on the Chicago Bears and who they should hire as their new coach. Do you have any candidates that are your front run? That face.
Nobody. I have absolutely no idea. Unfortunately, our past coaching system it did not do for me it did not do well at showing who we have and their capabilities. So if I don't know who we have on the field, it don't matter who you put at the head. I don't know what you're capable of.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I really don't know what you're capable of. I don't know why I just drew a blank, but the head coach from Miami.
Brian is his name.
Girl, I don't.
We could just do teams. I know exactly. Yeah. I can see his face. Him.
I liked what he was doing with Miami because you didn't know, and he was able to go and try to make, you know, a system work with the players. So somebody there we go. You know, somebody like that, Brian Flores. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Someone like that, I think would be good for us. Do I think we're ready for no, it's not gonna happen. But you know, I can wish for things.
To be honest, I that was a surprise, Irene.
What you say?
Oh,
I don't know if that's you or if that's me. I am.
I don't know, we're back now. Yeah, I was just saying that I was surprised that he got fired by Miami. So that was one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw another name at you just because you know I'm a Lions fan. Jim Caldwell. How do you think would he be right for the Bears? Or is he past his prime?
He's past his prime. Him and Lovey can go take a seat. Him and Lovey just go take a seat. I mean, if you throw his name out, hell, Andy Reid can come over here then. No, sit down somewhere. Just go. You can hell at this point. Go give me a no-name coach from a no-name college coach. Go give me Bowling Green's coach. Go give me well, I know Nick Saban ain't going nowhere, and I don't think he would do well in Chicago anyways. But go give me somebody, you know, like go give me Gonzaga's coach. Go give me
sorry, football.
You know, go give me somebody.
What about Jim Harbaugh? I don't think he's leaving Michigan, but would you want him?
It's Jim Harbaugh. Of course. I would not turn down Jim Harbaugh.
You wouldn't? Okay.
I would not. He would get my blind faith.
Really?
He would get my blind faith if he Now our quarterbacks, our backup quarterback system sucks. I need a better coach. He would have my blind faith if he was able to get me a better quarterback coach.
Right. Yeah, and he's not going anywhere unless it's a lot of money. Yeah, Michigan paid him out the wazoo to get annihilated in the playoffs,
but they finally made it to the playoffs.
Ain't my school.
But they finally made it over that hump. So it's all about sometimes it's all about getting your school back in the game. They have been out of it so long. They have just not. They have been a mediocre team. Now they're back. You're back on the map. You went to the championship, although you lost, but you made it, and that says something. Finally, that he was worth. Look, that he was worth his money.
Now let's talk about some other big money that came up in the Big Ten. Nate, blanking on the last name, coach at MSU, getting paid out the wazoo.
That's the 80 million guy?
Yeah, I think so.
$80 million.
Something wild.
To just stay. $80 million to coach college football. You can give me $100,000 and I'm coming to coach. I'll be at every game.
And that's the thing. He didn't win anything. I mean, he beat Michigan, but James Franklin at Penn State got a massive extension. Did you see our season? Did you see our run game? You can say what you want about our quarterback getting injured, but we were not able to run the ball. And then our quarterback is coming from like a 7th year. I'm like, oh, really? I'm okay. Please don't.
I think people give coaches, I think after 5 years, if you are not successful give a coach 5 years, because your first year is learning, and then you can build. If by that 5th year you are not having an extremely winning season, that means you as a coach are not good for that program, or you have not been able to implement your program or your vision. So you need to go. Mm-hmm. Wait a minute, they're saying 3 years.
I was about to say, look, you are nicer than I am. Thank you, Mel Tucker. Thank you. Yeah, I'm thinking 3 years. So you said, okay, go ahead and take a no-name coach for the Bears. What do you think of Dan Campbell over at the Lions? Talk about no-name coach.
No, he can go. No,
you don't want Dan?
I don't want anybody from any losing team. Keep him. No.
I will say it does seem like, look, he's not coming to the Bears, you guys. Don't worry, he's my problem. It does seem like the players like to play for him, which it was definitely not what was happening in the Chicago organization this year.
Chicago's, we need a GM and a head coach that believes in the culture and is willing to change the culture. However, you have to pay homage to that culture. We are a run game. We are defense. If you veer too much off of that, you get the bullshit that we got. You have to recruit properly for Chicago. But you also have to invest in your players. We are a team. Chicago, we have franchise players. You don't have that. You don't have those names. You don't have those household names anymore. You don't sense the family in Chicago anymore.
Right. And you do have some players that think they're household names and want to be paid as such. Not going to name any wide receivers, but let's just say there was someone that
needs to go somewhere.
Talking about he's like what do you say? He's like a top 5 wide receiver. So I'm like, you're not even top 5 receiver in the division. 20. So
yeah,
no.
People are delusional, and I think he's been hanging around Pace too long. They're delusional together. Mm-hmm. Delusional together. But I still want to go to Hallis Hall for a training. I always love going to Hallis Hall now.
You'd be like, all right. Aren't they, I believe, I'm not sure if it was the Bears or another job. I believe people are trying to poach the defensive coach for the Bills and the offensive coach for the Bills. Is that correct? Are they on the Bears? What do you think about those candidates?
The defensive coach for the Bills would have them all day. Defensive minded. Defense wins games. He will be able to get a solid quarterback coach who can really, truly get Fields to be the quarterback that I think he can be. Mm-hmm. We need, I don't know. I hope this all season our linemen literally go into school again. And I mean, take it back to, I need you to go to Pop Warner training. That O-line I need y'all to go back and start small again and relearn and trace your steps. Because your performance was not the best. We need to protect our quarterback, not Penn State. But yeah, yes, ma'am.
So let's say you're in charge of the Bears organization. Where is your focus? Nagy going to Pop Warner. Pop Warner don't want Nagy. No one wants Nagy. My Lord. Let's say you're in charge of the Bears during draft. What are you focusing on for your draft strategy this year?
My line, my safeties.
O-line, I assume you mean by your line?
Oh, yeah. Oh, O-line.
Look, I just want to make that clear in case someone was blind and didn't watch a single Bears game this year. The O-line was trash.
I'm talking about the O-line. The O-line are the people on the front, in front of the quarterback. Their job is to protect the quarterback and create lanes for the running back. Okay? Sometimes, that's their job. They just didn't do it very well.
I don't even know. One of the guys watching probably has the stat on how many times we got sacked this year. I say we, it's not me. Lions got sacked a lot too. It was okay. Yeah, another wide receiver got to replace Mr. Big Head. But yeah, so you would focus on the line. Any college players that you just love that you think would be great for the Bears?
Me and names are horrible. When I say horrible, they're horrible. But Oklahoma has some guards that are pretty good. Oklahoma does. And who else did I really like? I cannot think of that boy's name. But he plays tackle for, is it UTEP? Because we're on camera, I can't do what I want to do to her. But y'all just saw her pop me in my head.
I saw.
You just saw my 4-year-old pop me in the head. This is what I go through. I'm on camera. So yeah, I must be ending my time of not being in her care.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think she's reached her end. So okay, I will let you go ahead, give your shout outs real quick, and then I'll let you go back.
Hey, it's the same old shout out. Shout out to DeSable High School, the graduates, which if you're looking for a team for your kid to go to a smaller school, Bronzeville Scholastic Institute, as well as William Daniel Hale Medical Prep. They're 4924 South Wabash. We would love to have them. Girls or boys, small school, great education. Thank you guys for having me. Guest host with you, Sherry. I love you always.
I love you too. Well, thank you so much. And I know you'll be back at some point. Always appreciate having you on. Oh man, you gotta love the kids, man. Last week I had the pets running back behind me, causing terror. This week, we got the child just running the show, and that's why, that's why I love to do these things live. You never know what's going to happen. Got to be ready for anything. So I've been trying to do way more engagement stuff on Facebook. So if you're not on the Facebook group, the She Said What She Said, jump on there. I've been trying to get stories about women doing amazing things in the sports world. I try not to just do running, but look, I was a runner last weekend. Both the women's American marathon record was broken and the women's half marathon record was broken. Houston Marathon. Apparently that's a big one. So that was pretty exciting. And there was also this woman who went down to the Disney one. She won 4 days in a row. She won the 5K, the 10K, the half marathon, and the marathon. 4 days in a row. This chick ran 22 miles throughout the first 3 days. And then she ran a marathon on those legs and won again, all in costume. These are just types of stories that I see that make me laugh. We got the Olympics coming up, the Paralympics. There's so much awesomeness going on in the women's sports world. So definitely, having some discussions on there, some fun times. Trying to get that Instagram page going more. I think I'm doing that more for stories because, again, I see all these cool things, these stuff that I want to share with you guys. So my Instagram, She Said What She Said podcast. So all of that in one. But yes, that is, I'll give my shout out. So shout out to, hey, T-Nick, thanks for controlling the StreamYard, because I get anxiety when I have to run a podcast and do the StreamYard at the same time. So shout out to you. Also to my guys at the Chicago Clubhouse Network, AB, JB. I'll see you guys in the comments. Love you. Desan, the LEC. Again, him and I are doing some awesome projects. My girl Mel at Trey Bella, got the lazy day. Just everyone. And next week, B will be back. It will be our 11th episode. We got a great show. Like I said, I got people lined up through February. I'm not going anywhere. So excited to get this community going and excited to talk to more women in the sports world, badass women doing badass things in the sports world and beyond. And for that is it for the She Said What She Said podcast. Have a good one.